Alrighty guys, what's going on? So today I want to talk to you about Ernie Ball's regular Slinky electric guitar strings. These are custom gauge nickel wound guitar strings. I would say they're among the most popular, if not the most popular guitar strings out on the market. I know tons of people that use them, who have always used them. I've used them for years. And you know, there are also tons of famous guitar players who use them. As you can see right here, legendary tone, legendary players. It's a pretty comprehensive list of artists and bands. I'm sure this is probably even an incomplete list, as there are so many people that use these strings. You know, Ernie Ball just has a really strong heritage. They're such a trustworthy guitar string manufacturer, and that's kind of why I want to talk about why I think these strings are so popular, what makes them so big, such a big company. For starters, I mean, first thing you notice when you look at these is that they have bright green neon packaging. You know, if these are hanging on a wall somewhere in a guitar store, these are the first ones you're going to see. I almost feel like they did that on purpose. But you know, when you pick these out, because of how they look, you'll also be pleased with how they sound, because they really do sound really solid. They're just solid all-around strings. They're also packaged very well. I would say one thing that people that look at strings, or people that talk about strings, don't really notice or talk about is the packaging, which I think is super important. All strings that you see in here are sealed inside one piece of humidity resistant, kind of metallic packaging. As you can see all the way around, it's sealed really nice, just one big piece right there. The cool thing about it being sealed in this kind of packaging is that you don't have your strings corrode. And then on the inside, each string has a paper sleeve. Pretty standard for most string companies, electric guitar string companies, or even acoustic, to have those paper sleeves, though I've definitely bought from brands that don't. They kind of just have all their strings coiled up on the inside. But I like how they did the paper sleeves, because essentially, you know, if you're only using 2 or 3 strings and you want to put the rest aside for another time, you can do that. You know, because they come separately. Yeah, just compared to other brands, packaging's great. Very reasonable price on these things, you know, especially compared to higher end strings like elixirs. They have a great shelf life. Typically I'll buy these things in bulk. So, you know, you get like 12 or 13 at a time, or however many is in one bulk package, I can't even remember. But you know, I'll use them once every like month and a half. And by the end of the year, I'm pulling out one that's essentially a year old, and I'll open it up and it's still pretty much brand new. You know, looks and feels and plays like it is brand new, which is nice. In terms of their tone, which is the most important thing for strings, they're not the best, though they're also not the worst. And they're just very consistent from one package to the next, is what I can say. You know, you're never going to be surprised when you open up a new pack of strings what it's going to sound like. They have a very transparent sound, which I really dig. You know, you're not going to hear the tone of the strings like you do with some types of strings. They are like bright or chimey or whatever. These aren't. You're really just going to hear your guitar, your pedals, your amp, the things you should be hearing, I believe. So I really like that about Ernie Ball. They've definitely done a transparent design, which is nice. And they have a great playing life as well. You know, corrosion resistant. It's not, again, not the best, but pretty solid. Corrosion resistant, nickel wound, they're strong, they're you know, professional tie guitar strings, really solid. The thing I will say is they definitely have a break-in period in terms of tuning. I've noticed that compared to other strings, the tension on these takes a little longer to settle. You know, you have to tune it, pull the strings a little bit, tune it again, pull on the strings a little bit. After a couple times, it'll finally start to settle in. It usually takes around like 30 minutes or so, and then it's finally like you're good to go. So not the best for like quick string jobs, especially if it's like in the middle of a gig or something, but you know, not the biggest deal, especially for the price. And once they are broken in, they're totally stable, stay in tune really well. So, you know, it's cool. I've used them on tons of guitars. I don't think Slinky really has, or that the Ernie Ball regular Slinky strings have a specific guitar that they sound best on, or specific sound. You can really use them for anything. These are the 10s, as you can see. They come in all different sizes. You know, there's no real strong suits with these strings, but just all around they're great to use, you know, for pretty much anything. Yeah, so I would definitely check these out. You can, and yeah, keep rocking. All right.